Welcome to the Angular Masterclass Day 5. Today we'll focus on three main topics: pipes for data transformation, dependency injection, and services for architecture and state management, including Angular 17+ features. This is a detailed table of contents. We'll cover pipes in depth, dependency injection basics and advanced topics, and service architecture, including signal services in Angular 17+. We also have a comprehensive Q&A section and a master cheat sheet. Section 7 is dedicated to pipes. We'll examine built-in pipes for core utilities, pure versus impure pipes for performance, and modern Angular 17+ features like standalone pipes for speed. A pipe transforms data directly in the HTML template using the pipe operator, requiring zero component logic. Pipes are pure by default, chainable, reusable, and now standalone ready in modern Angular. Crucially, pipes always return a new transformed value without mutating the original one. Angular provides many built-in pipes like date pipe, currency pipe, decimal pipe, and async pipe, which auto-subscribes to observables. Remember to import common module in ng modules or the specific pipe class in standalone components imports array. We'll deep dive into date pipe and currency pipe, mastering their various format strings. Pay attention to decimal pipe's format reference for precise data presentation. For non-English applications, always set the locale_ID provider and register locale data. Async pipe is a must-know pipe. It auto-subscribes to observables or promises and automatically unsubscribes on component destruction, preventing memory leaks. It supports on-push change detection, provides null safety, and works well with the as-alias pattern. Always use the async as data pattern to avoid multiple subscriptions. Pipes are pure by default, running only when the input reference changes. Impure pipes, marked with pure false, run on every change detection cycle, detecting internal mutations but being performance heavy. Use memoization for expensive impure logic to mitigate performance issues. The rule is to start pure and switch to impure only if mutation tracking is essential. To create a custom pipe, you follow 4 simple steps. Use the @pipe decorator, implement pipe transform, define the transform method, and finally, register or import the pipe. Use standalone pipes for better tree shaking and easier testing in modern Angular apps. Memoization in custom pipes caches expensive computation results, preventing rerunning on every change detection cycle. This involves using AMAP as a cache with a composite key for unique identification. This technique turns ON filter loops into fast O1 lookups, crucial for large datasets. Angular 17+ features, like signals and the new control flow, improve pipe performance. Combining pure pipes with onpush, using track-by or @track for minimal re-renders, and leveraging toSignal and computed, eliminate async pipe and change detection overhead. Prefer @if and @for over old directives for faster, cleaner syntax with null safety. Section 8 covers dependency injection, the core design pattern for scalable Angular applications. We will explore providers, tokens, hierarchical DI, factories, multi-providers, and the modern inject function. Mastering DI is key to building testable and modular components and services. DI is a design pattern where a class receives its dependencies from Angular's container, not by creating them manually. The injector resolves a token to a provider, which knows how to create the service, resulting in a single service instance or singleton for the application. Using DI leads to loosely coupled, testable code. Providers tell Angular how to create a dependency, while tokens identify what to inject. We reviewed various provider types: use class, use value, use existing, and use factory. Injection tokens are essential for type-safe injection of non-class values, like configuration objects. Always use injection token for config values instead of raw strings or numbers. Provider scope controls the number of instances and access. Root level creates a singleton. Module level shares per module. Component level creates a fresh instance per component. And platform level is for micro frontends. Prefer provided in root for tree shaking, and use component level providers only when a fresh instance is necessary per component. The injector tree mirrors the component tree. When a component requests a dependency, Angular starts searching in its own injector and bubbles up. If the token is unresolved at the top-level null injector, it throws an error. Directives like @self or @skipSelf control the lookup direction. Factory providers allow runtime conditional DI, useful for choosing between production or mock services. Multi-providers using multi-true collect all values for the same token into an array, commonly used for HTTP interceptors and custom plugin systems. Be careful, forgetting multi-true replaces previous registrations. Angular 14 Plus introduced the Inject API, the modern DI approach. It enables field-level injection, removes constructor boilerplate, and is necessary for functional guards and resolvers. It must be called within an injection context, such as a component constructor, or via environment injectors run in context method. Modern Angular apps use standalone components without ng modules. Tree-shakeable providers, enabled by provided in root, remove unused services from the bundle. Angular 17 Plus defaults to standalone architecture, simplifying bootstrapping with modern functions like provide HTTP client and provide router. Section 9 focuses on services, the backbone of Angular architecture. We'll cover separation of concerns, the API layer, singleton patterns, and the rise of signals for simplified state management. The golden rule of service architecture is clear. Components handle the view, and services handle everything else. This typically involves layers: presentation, service, business logic, API, HTTP, and state. This separation ensures testability and maintainability. The behavior subject pattern is the most common way to share reactive state. It maintains a current value, immediately emits to new subscribers, and enforces unidirectional flow by exposing a read-only observable. Remember to perform immutable updates using the spread operator to ensure change detection works correctly. A robust API service centralizes complex HTTP patterns. This includes using generic methods for type safety, applying operators like retry to handle transient errors, and centralizing error handling using catch error, and a shared toast service. HTTP interceptors globally manage requests and responses. They are commonly used for adding auth tokens, implementing loading indicators, and global error handling. Angular 17 Plus introduces simplified functional interceptors using "inject" for dependencies, making them much cleaner and tree-shakeable. Angular signals simplify reactive state management in Angular 17 Plus. They are synchronous, require no manual cleanup, and use "computed" for derived state. Signals replace behavior subject for local and simple shared state, leading to cleaner components without the async pipe. Singletons are services where only one instance exists across the application, essential for configuration, authentication, and global state. The recommended pattern is provided in root. For tree shaking and module scoped services, use the for root pattern to ensure root registration. Let's review common interview questions about pipes. Remember, a pure pipe runs only when the input reference changes, making it fast. Async pipe is recommended for observables because it handles subscription and unsubscription automatically, preventing memory leaks. When discussing DI in interviews, define it as external dependency provision for decoupling and testability. Be able to explain hierarchical lookup and the function of the specific DI decorators, like at self and at host. Highlight that inject is the modern preferred approach. For service-related questions, focus on separation of concerns and state management. Explain that shared state is typically managed via a singleton service using behavior subject or signals. Mention provided in root enables tree shaking, and the for root pattern avoids service duplication and lazy loading. This is a complete cheat sheet for pipes, DI, and services. Screenshot this slide for quick reference. Remember the Angular 17 Plus best practices. Use inject, signals, and standalone components for modern performant applications. Congratulations, you are ready. We covered pipes basics, custom pipes, and modern pipe usage. We also explored DI fundamentals, advanced concepts like factory providers, and the modern inject API. Finally, we reviewed service architecture, shared state, and signal services, preparing you for interviews and advanced development.